So this video is going to show you how to do finance calculations if you don't happen to have a TI-83 or 84 calculator. There are many TVM solvers, that's what it's called, is TVM for time value money calculations on the internet. I just went to Google and I typed in TVM Solver Calculator and many of them came up. The one I thought was the best looking one, the most simplest to use, is this one here, which is at this website of www.zinewealth.com, business finance online /tvm calculator window.html, and I'm going to put the link on the video page. So let's say I want to do a problem and I want to find some values. I want to do some calculations. So let's say the first one I want to do is maybe finding out how much, let's say I want to invest $10,000 in an account paying 6.3% APR. I want to find the future value after 15 years if the interest is compounded quarterly. So I happen to have $10,000 that I'm investing, so that's my present value. So PV stands for present value. So here I'm going to type in 10,000. I have no payments that I'm putting in here, so I'll make payments 0. My interest rate, as I can see, it's got a percent symbol there, so that tells me to actually not type it in as 0.063, but actually as 6.3%, because it will do the calculation, the changing for you. Periods is how many periods you happen to have. So you need to know, you actually have to go on your calculator and do 15 times, we are doing this monthly, so 15 times 12. And so you have to find out what 15 times 12 is. If we're doing it for 15 years and we're compounded, quarterly, 15 times 4, sorry. 15 times 4, and you have to find out what 15 times 4 is, and that is 60. So you put that 60 in there. We have no payments, that's what PMT stands for, is your payments. And we are going to do it monthly. Actually, we're doing it quarterly, so you're going to take this down, this thing here to pull down here to go and pick quarterly for how many periods you're going to have. And then you want to find the future value. So we're going to stick here on future value, and you're going to come down here. There you've got present value, payment, future value, rate, and periods you can calculate. We want to do future value, so we'll hit the future value, and it will tell us what value we get. Notice it's negative, and that's because our present value actually is money that went away from us. So let's make that negative, and let's make the present value negative because that money went away from us. And then we're going to go find future value, and it comes out as positive. That isn't that important because it's the exact same value, just positive, but it might make you feel better to make that positive. And again, present value is negative because that's money you had that you put somewhere that you can't touch. If you want to, let's say, do this monthly instead, then what you do is figure out what 12 times 15 is. So take out a calculator, do 12 times 15, which is 180. Type in 180 periods here, because that's how many periods you're going to have. It's always going to be your N times your T. And then change this from quarterly to monthly. And then we wanted to find out how much the future value is again. Nothing else changed, so you're going to come down here to future value, hit future value, and you can find out what that future value is. Notice 25,664.61. It does not do continuously, so if you want to do continuously, you would have to use the continuous formula, the continuous compounding formula. But it can solve for other things. So let's say we have $5,000 to invest. That means that we're now going to have $5,000 going away from us, so you're going to have negative 5,000. And you're going to invest it at 5%, so we're going to change this percentage, this rate to 5. Interest compounded daily, so we're going to go change our pull down here to daily. And we'd like to know how long will it take to grow to 9,000. So we know what the future value is. We know the future value is 9,000. So we're going to change that future value to 9,000. And then we want to know how many periods it is. So we're going to click on periods down here instead. And it tells us it's 4,291.14 periods. But there are 365 days in a year, so you can actually take that 4291.14 and divide that by 365. And you get 11.8 years. So you'd have to go calculate that on your own. You'd actually have to take your number of periods you got and then divide that by your 365 days in a year. You can do other things with this also. So let's say we want to do an annuity. Annuities involve payments. So let's say we have an annuity. We're putting away, let's say we're putting away $50 a month. So our payment is $50. And again, that payment's going away from us. So we're going to make that minus $50. And you're going to do this for 5 years and at monthly, and you're going to have an interest rate of 4.5%. So let's say this is the problem we have. So we know we took $50 away from us. We don't have any money at the start, so we're going to change our present value to 0. If you do already have money in there, you can actually put that value here to figure out what your payments have to be to get where you want to go. Same kind of concepts. Our interest rate was 4.5%, so we're going to type in 4.5 in the rate. We were going to do it for 5 years for monthly, and so you can do 5 times 12. 5 times 12 is 60. Again, you can use your calculator to figure that out. No, I'm sorry, 5 times 12. Yes, is 60. Okay, so you figure out your calculator. We are doing it monthly, so you're gonna have to pull your pull down, change it to monthly here. And then we want to know what the future value is. So that's what we're looking to find, is what is that money in the future? What's it worth in the future? So we just come down here again, present value, payment, future value, rate, periods. We want to know the future value. So you find out it's $3,357.28. If you want to change something in here, if you want to maybe leave that money in there for 20 years, you can. All that's happening is your periods are changing. So you do 20 years times 12. That's 240 for your payment, for your periods. And then you go find your future value there. And you get $19,406.22. So all of these things can be calculated this way. If you want to find, let's say you want to find your payment instead, that you know how much you want to have in the future and you want to be able to figure out what your payment's going to be. So let's say we know we want to have $35,000 in the future. We can get an interest rate of 4% roughly, and you're going to do it for 5 years, and you're going to do it paying quarterly. So again, present value is 0. Usually it's 0. Payment's what we want to find. Future value is $35,000. And that's going to be money coming to you, so it is positive $35,000. My interest rate was 4%. And my period was 5 times 20, because we have 5 years and 4 payments per year. So it's going to be 5 times 4, which is 20. And we are doing this quarterly, so change this to quarterly using the little pull down. And then we want to know what our payment would be. So we're going to come down here again, present value, payment, future value, rate, periods, and we want to find out what the payment is. And we find out that the payment is $1,589.54. And you can solve for anything you want doing this. If you want to find the time again, you can do that. We've already done a time, but same kind of idea. You put all the values in you want, and then click on periods for time. You can also do loans like this. So let's say you're going to take out a $320,000 loan, and you want to then find out what your payments would be if you pay monthly. And you're going to do it for a 30-year mortgage, and let's say you can get a rate of 4.25% annual percentage rate. So the $320,000, that's your present value. That actually is money that's going to come to you from the bank, so it is positive $320,000. Your rate, again, was 4.25%. Your periods are, you're going to take 12 payments per year times 30 years. So that's 360. You are paying monthly, so change the quarterly to monthly here. Your future value on every loan hopefully is 0. So hopefully you're going to get to the point where you owe nothing on this mortgage. We're going to change that to 0. And then you want to know what your payment would be. So you're going to click on payment down here. You find out your payment is $1,574.21. Again, it's negative because it went away from you. If you instead want to do that for a 15-year mortgage, and let's say your interest rate is 3.8%, then all you can do is change your interest rate to 3.8. And your periods, because you now are going to do it for 15 years instead of 30, 15 times 12 is 180. Nothing else changes, and you want to know what your payment is. So you then can find out that your payment is $2,335.06. And that's how we can use these TVM solvers either on the calculator or here on the internet to find these information without having to actually try to use the formula.